and a massive encounter. Two of the biggest hitters at Ultimate Pool. What a match we have for you on table 2. Dave and Dave talking you through. One dancing, one not so much.
Yeah, I don't know which order that is in, but we'll go with it. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, Mr. Fernandez. Bit of a treat. I was really happy when the schedule came through. These two are just, it's going to be like a boxing match, you think?
Yeah, I think so. It could literally just boil on the breaks, really. They're both huge breakers and obviously both great players. So, all being well, we could be in for, like you say, a lovely little treat here, David Boy, I think.
Yeah. Will it be decided just by the break? You would think so. I mean, I did one of Jack's games this weekend, and as expected, like a lot of the boys that had travelled overseas, he wasn't at his absolute best, but good enough to have a decent run yesterday. Certainly did better than some of the other boys that came back.
Definitely. I was speaking to Jack yesterday, and he's just saying getting used to the white ball again, and feels like a bit of a ping pong ball, but we all know how good he is, and it's only going to take a couple of rounds to get that back, I think. So Karl's going to have to be focused and take his opportunities. As we know, Jack is Jack at the end of the day, and he will just do what he does best, and that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, power pool.
Yeah, he's a very big hitter, isn't he, Jack? He could literally be 3-4-0 down, and you've literally just sat there and had a break, sort of thing. So I'll apologise in advance now. I have a cough, so.
Oh dear.
Try not to.
Don't you cough over our microphones, Dave.
No, you're safe.
Nick Finn will be fuming.
He'll be all over me like a rash. So, just to apologise to the viewers, really. They don't need to hear that.
Yeah, you can bring it away from you. Proper microphones in here. So still got to navigate around to this red. That's nearest to us. It does pass in a few pockets, but
yeah, when he played the prey catcher earlier, I think he wanted it to the top end, but he just ran a few inches more. And like you say, now he's got to come back for his work.
That's okay, I think, as long as he can miss the yellow.
Yeah, if he can just stun across the face of it, I think. Still got to get the pace right though. If he bounces up too much, he's got to be able to hold for the black still.
Yeah, it was just imperative he landed this side of the red, otherwise things would have got an awful lot more difficult for him.
Definitely.
A lot of traffic in the way, using the bottom side of the table, but
held that a lot easier than we thought from our angle.
as we've come to expect though with Jack Whelan, he looks in fine fettle in this early Saturday afternoon. You look across the past Tom Cousins, who's just plays ridiculous pool. The one person I fancied, and he's out of both events now due to Tom, was Luke Gilbert. I think he's beaten him in both, and he's played the best pool apart from Tom that I've seen this weekend. But we don't see all the games. We only see a third when we're here.
True.
To catch up when we're away. It's wide open at the pros.
I think so. I think once you get a bit of momentum and if you start playing well and the break's working for you, I think it's very easy to just get on a little run. And obviously, especially at the top level of the pros, I think they can just, like you say, reel off matches within 20-30 minutes and you don't even feel like you've been in a game.
Semi-finals of Pro Series number 3 will be played a little bit later on, 6:30, where aforementioned Mr. Cousins gets off against Hitan Patel and Jez Graham against Sean Chipperfield, who played very well the last couple of days. Sean, been very impressed by him. Great to see him back at his best.
Well, Jez
has had a great run.
He's playing very well from what I see yesterday. Like you say, you'd probably favour that Sean would be favourite, wouldn't you, with the bookies or so forth? But
well, I think an awful lot of people will expect a Tom versus Sean final.
Yes.
Because the other two you didn't expect to see in the semis, but these races to 7, and Tom and Sean are well aware that both Hitan and Jez are more than capable of playing a perfect match to 7.
100%, yeah. 100%. Well, you don't get this far in one of these events if you're not QML, do you? So
absolutely not.
Clearly they're playing well.
Best players in the world. Yeah, they'll both be on the main arena, I presume, and One will follow after the other. So
Yeah, I think they're
Tom,
this evening, aren't they?
yeah, 6:30, and then the other one's scheduled for 8:45, but it depends on how quickly Tom Cousins and Hitan Patel.
Makes some good viewing for a Saturday night, though, which is good.
It's all good viewing.
Very true.
4 days of pool.
Lovely. Jack,
So I like it because you're listening. People that are listening, pool fanatics,
that's it, it's good
just
though,
like
isn't
us.
it? You want to see good players, you want to see good games, don't you? You want to. That's what you sign up for. Jack going about his business again, another nice break.
Yeah, I usually check the head-to-head between players, but it's Mr. Ultimate Pool himself, Simon Webb, that keeps them on his laptop, and I've not managed to pull him. I'm unaware if these two have played against each other. It'd be interesting to see if they have the results, because Karl, obviously, he doesn't practice as much as the others.
Obviously that's going to help his game anyway with his cue ball control, because obviously...
And things going from bad to worse. Karl, boys, as Jack Williams going to be in again in frame number 3. Yeah, I think Jack sort of made the decision, I think, was it 12 months ago or something? He grew his social media, and I think he went to do this full time, along with a couple of other endeavours. We know he goes over to China with the rest of them, and tried to make a full-time living out of it, and I think he has succeeded.
Well, he's a phenomenal player, and he's a likeable lad as well. And you get to know him and stuff. He's a really nice guy, and he's down to earth as well. He's not very deluded or anything like that. He's not up himself. He's just
like your choice of words there, Dave.
Yes.
Say it how it is.
Sorry, I am sadly. But no, he's a great player and he's a good lad. I've known him since, I think since he was about 13, 14. And he's not really changed his personality and his love for the game and his hunger. I've always said that you can always work on talent and things, but you can't buy that hunger. You've either got that hunger to win or you haven't. And he has. He's always very ruthless on himself. He's harsh on himself.
Absolutely. He's a massive self-critic and expects the highest of standards out of himself. And the golden moments that we don't play as often anymore, but they were played throughout Ultimate Pool TV. His was my favourite when he won. I think it was in Birmingham against Jordan Shepherd in the final, and he beat Jordan in the final. It was a couple of years ago. I think it was his first one, and I'm sure he won't thank me, but you really saw what it meant to him. There was a bit of tears there, sort of a lot of emotion, and you don't see that from Jack because he's a big lad. He's an intimidating character out there. You know when he's at the table.
Definitely.
A little bit like his opponent today, Karl. He's like that.
Yeah, you don't see much from him, do you? You really don't. And like I say with Jack, he puts a lot of time in. Like you say, he puts everything in. He's 100%. So at least that way, if it doesn't succeed, then he can walk away and say, well, I'll give it everything, which I think is the way to be, really. There's no point coming into, especially a field like this, and being half committed. You either need to put the time in or don't play, because you're not going to get anywhere really playing 50% pool here. He always backs his pot in as well, Jack's what I like. Sometimes he doesn't try to be too intricate or try to move the white around a lot. He'll just say, right, okay, that goes there, get my arm behind it, cue it straight, stay still. And 9 times out of 10, it ends up where it needs to be.
That was an exceptional bit of cueing. That was really, really good. Looks really sharp this morning. What we've just seen in them 3 finishes, he hasn't put a foot wrong until honestly, right on cue.
We can bring anyone down, Karl. Yeah, I think it's easy to say that because a lot of, like you say, it's a very throwaway comment of, we just broke well, or he always breaks well, but you still got to get the balls at the end of the day, and they come out messy. I mean, here, this kind of shows sometimes where it can become a bit frustrating. Karl's first real chance at the table. Jack's broke well so far. Karl comes to the table and he's got a little bit of work to do now, whereas he hasn't got an easy finish. He's got a couple of breakout balls for the black, obviously the yellow near it, or he can screw into it now possibly. He's got a couple of options.
I think what irritates some people is when some of the players, when they get branded that way, is they shouldn't underestimate the intelligence of the people watching, because the people watching are all players. They all play the game, and they all know how hard it is, even if you put the cue ball in the middle of the middle of the breaking line, to hit at 100% power and control the cue ball. It is very, very difficult.
Of course it is.
It's a skill.
And it's so easy, especially when things aren't going your way. You tend to hit the break a bit harder, which then you lose the cue ball more. And vice versa, really. People always change their breaks and do different things.
Those who can break, those who can't,
yeah,
cut break.
Right, it's true. Yeah, you'll see the white moving here, there, and there. I mean, I've done it myself, where I've just gone through phases.
It's like this, Dave. Those who can play, those who can't talk.
Yeah, and we do a good job talking.
Oh, I wasn't putting you in that bracket, Dave. Definitely not. Well, Karl looks like he's going to make the most of his first opportunity.
Yeah,
a minor mistake by Jack for me, but I think at this level you have to put it down as an error.
Yeah, needs to leave a nice angle here, because there's a couple of reds which may play big. So he's just going to have to navigate a little route here to the black.
Yeah, he'd love to be able just to screw back and find a path between them three reds, wouldn't he?
And the thing is, the white's going to slide as soon as he hits this to the right. So he's going to be more near along the line of the blue spot, really. So he's going to have a bit of a chop.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's going to have to use the cushion and come across.
Screwing.
Oh, is he? Is he screwing? Looks like he's digging down a little bit. Oh, wow. 3 cushions. And this is going to go wrong.
Ooh.
Well, that just shows us he obviously didn't have the angle. He did have the option to play the shot that you suggested.
Yeah.
Yes, finish around the blue spot and take a thinner 8, but guarantee a shot. This will go close, though. I expect this to go close. Left middle, surely the target.
Yeah, definitely.
And it might even flick in off the red. Couple of chances of making this 8. Get his first frame on the board. Oh, off the white. Oh,
blimey. Probably just moved the red off the row as well now, so he's opened them up for Jack for a counter clearance, and this could now be a bit of a battle now for Karl, because I mean, I don't think the time's going to become a factor, but all of a sudden you feel like you've got to chase finishes now, and that's where more mistakes slip in, sadly. But I don't think Karl's done a lot wrong, really. I mean, he just landed a bit awkward on his last ball there, didn't he? Just to, like you said, I think he wanted to be straight, just to screw back. I mean, Jack's not played a great shot there either, to be honest.
yeah, can only really drop this in.
Yeah.
If you try and force it, you take a chance of missing the pot, don't you?
Yeah.
It's a very good curious, though. Just get it away from that top cushion a bit. Wow.
He's done well there.
What do I know?
Done well
I
there.
would never dare play that hard.
Better shot than it looked.
Yeah. He's done really well.
Again, it's got to be a bit awkward, careful again, because of the cushion sliding a little bit. This is where it's going to become awkward, because it's going to come wider where the black is. It's just going to come. See, it's going to come that side of the black, which he doesn't really want.
Yeah, I thought he's just sort of played a 2-in-1 shot there. If he just misses the 8, he's on the sort of the one he's got the bigger problem with, and he was always, if he went too far, he's always going to have a second bite at it. So just thinking, can he get any better if he plays the one to the top right, or can he just play this with maybe a touch of left and take the in-off out of the equation?
Possibly. He probably wants to leave the white exactly where. Oh, trying to sneak inside the black. Doesn't leave a lot to play with. Ideally, he wants to leave the white where the red is now. Would be ideal for him, but if he can hold this, he was just going to try and stun over. He's only got half a foot to play with, so.
Excellent.
Played it well, held it well. And there we are, 4-zip. Karl to break, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it was looking like after Jack Whelan's mistake on the break that Karl Boys was going to capitalise and get his first frame on the board, but it just didn't transpire. He seems to be a bit of a breath of fresh air from yesterday. Carl Sutton is just behind to the very impressive Connor Treacy. 6 frames to 5 to Connor in that one. Liam White 3-2 down against Carl Morris on one of the outer ones as well. John McAllister 2-0 down to Tom Jones. Sean Storey against Simon Fitzsimmons is 2-0 up. That one is over on table 3, where Mr. James, Hanny and Pearce are talking their way through. If you've had enough of Dave and Dave.
That's not possible, is it?
Of course not.
Nah,
Absolutely not.
Having that.
Everyone needs a Dave in their life. 2 might be a little bit too much though.
Karl's had some more misery off the break. Jack again. First to the table. Guessing he's going to want the yellows. And this is getting in danger of being out of control very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Karl and Jack have been playing for a number of years. I mean, Karl's older than Jack, pretty sure.
Yeah,
They've been playing a lot longer, and he'll know that if Jack is to go on and take these out, that the odds of winning from 5-0 in a race to 7 are very slim against an opponent that is of this calibre.
Well, he's just going to create opportunities, Jack, as well, isn't he? That's the thing. Okay, he has one dry break or goes in off, but he's going to pop probably 2 of the 4 breaks he's going to have left, so that's 2 opportunities straight away. I mean, it's a strange game. We've all seen things turn, but Jack looks very sharp, doesn't he? He looks on point.
Yeah, once he's... I mean, the only mistake in the match he's made is the off. Yeah. So, once he's got his hand on the table, he's been absolutely perfect.
It's been faultless. Yeah, I think he's played 1 half bad positional shot, really, and that's it. So, I mean, at 5 frames, you'll take that, wouldn't you?
And I think he can just drop this in and hold. Doesn't have to screw onto the red, does he?
I don't believe so. I think
Might do.
Leave the white there.
Oh, yeah, I think he's okay.
He's got a choice here. He can screw straight out through the gap and play the black in the middle, I think.
Only just. Another roll. That's confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, just cue through the ball and thank you. And I think, yeah, Karl be sitting there here thinking the worst. Yeah, Andy Williams.
Andy Williams. Apologies, Andy, if you watch this, Matt.
See Jack.
Yeah, a signature break.
Caught him sweet.
Yeah, and that was probably around 60-70% the power available.
Yeah. Bad flick straight back on the white, which sent the white straight back to bulk, which killed him instantly.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you want it in the middle of the table. Give you as many options as possible. That said, I think he's got this red to the right centre, and they are the favoured colour set off the split.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe the red down the inside of the black does go as well. So there is angles to get to these balls. They are there.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for us to say, but every red ball does have a home. It's just the 8 that doesn't.
It's true. He's got a couple of balls around the 8 though to just nudge it out at some point if he needs to, or nudge the yellow out the way. I mean, he may choose to go into it now. Screw off 2, kiss the yellow or the black. The red must go to the corner.
Always nice, just using the jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going away with it a little bit. I think he's on this, you know,
Yeah.
and I think he'll just risk. Will he risk just screwing back, or he'll stun out, I suppose, if there's room.
Yeah, I think that there's more room where that red is there.
Oh, that was a bit quick.
Oh, he's fluked it though. He's gone in the middle.
Has he fluked it?
Yeah, he's gone into the middle.
That is unbelievable. He just hit this a bit quick, I thought.
I think he just tried to nick a bit, didn't he? And
Look at that. Off the jaws with the cue ball as well.
crazy.
Ridiculous.
If he's on this red as well, he's got half a chance. Because I think the red near the black goes as well. So if it goes to the top right, as we look at the screen, then he'll have an angle. But no. Then Karl comes to the table. He's not really got a nice table to go at, really. So not really something you need in one of your first opportunities at 5-0 down. See him shaking his head. I think we feel your pain, Karl.
Yeah, it's just not fair, is it? You watch your opponent play 5 perfect games of pool. You've only really made one mistake, and then he gets the fluke. But
Yeah.
he's back in here. He's got an opportunity. Oh,
It's just nothing really to go at. That's the problem. Where he's left him, he had literally jacking up, nothing to go at. All balls tied up everywhere.
when you're the opponent, you just think, oh, you know, when you're playing someone that's probably doesn't happen to you too often, but when I draw someone that's a level or two above me, and they start getting lucky, I just think, hold on a minute, right? It's just not fair. You're 2 levels above, and you get in the run.
Chris Mellon is 4-2 up against Callum Singleton now. Liam White 3-3 against Carl Morris. John McAllister's pulled one back against Tom Jones, so that's now 2-1 to Tom. And Sean Story and Simon Fitzsimmons is 2-1 to Sean. So all the other games seem pretty tight. It's just this one we've kind of landed on one. Jack made an error there again, so a couple of maybe lapses of concentration or 5-0 up shots coming into play.
Yeah. Can he play this last red and just use the yellow, though, to knock it out the way and land on the last red? I think he might have a perfect angle. It's just little things like that, they're going his way, and I'm sure Karl will have spotted that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an easy pot, but to land so perfectly.
He's been very fortunate because he's kissed the red quarter ball and landed nowhere where he needed to be. But again, like you say, when you can cue like Jack, any ball that goes can go.
It's a cruel game. It really is.
I think that could be the end of Karl. We get a picture of Karl. He's probably sitting there shaking his head, thinking, "What's that? What have I done?"
Was he listening?
He must have
hit it about 20%.
Yeah, he must have headphones in. He's literally done
just tapped
there.
it.
I think he just wants to get out of there. I think.
I mean, he hardly even get down on the shot.
No, he's just rolled into the bag.
It's the slowest break I've seen over the last 3 days, that is.
Couldn't have timed that any better, could we?
You know what, though? That just shows you. I mean, look there. There's, six in the bottom half, 9 in the top. And he's hit them as slow as I've ever seen a break been hit.
Yeah.
So you just don't have to hit them that hard. I really do feel it. The most consistent break I saw at a tour event was when Mark Selby came to one. His break was
constantly just nicking one,
he was just timing it and controlling the cue ball. Ronan was doing it yesterday a little bit.
Crazy, isn't it? It does make you wonder, because that's, like you say, the argument about everyone saying, "Oh, it's just because they got a big break." Shows you don't have to have a big break, do you? I mean, it helps, but
well, I mean, it's just getting the balls moving, and yes, if you hit them harder, the balls move more, and so you've got more chance of getting one in a pocket.
But what's considered a big break? Is it just making sure you get one? Is that a big
power,
break?
I suppose.
Well,
a big break's power and control.
But if you can guarantee a ball, not guarantee, but if you get a ball every time you break, that for me would be a big break.
Yeah, I mean,
you guarantee being at the table.
If you play, after all the pool I've watched, the only sort of break that can be consistent, and I mean making the same ball, a bit like other cue sports with the wing ball at 9 ball, is if you play a narrow cut break, so you bring the cue ball in a little bit to the middle of the table, and play a cut break, say you're on, as we look down on the table, you put the cue ball on the left hand side, the second ball down on the left of the triangle will go towards the left middle.
Yes.
But that is the only one that I've seen where you are trying to make a ball, a specific one.
Yeah, selective ball. Yeah, correct.
I think the most unusual break is Declan Brennan, who puts the cue ball right over the side and hits the middle ball, you have to be extremely precise and have a cue action as good as he has to consistently hit it.
Yes.
And I think he does that because he feels he makes a certain ball.
Probably. The thing is, I think pool players, they get to that point where they try and find something, don't they, and then they just stick with it because they believe it works, or they've won a competition doing that.
Yeah, I think it's more of a feeling of well, you feel when you've timed one well, don't you? We all know that feeling.
Instantly.
You really do. And when you do time it well, you're still not guaranteed to make one, but it feels right.
Yes, agreed.
And as we're chatting away, Jack Whelan's about to wrap things up.
25 minutes. Scary. It's made our job easy. Oh.
Yeah, he's fine here. He's fine.
Oh, wow. He's been ruthless. He's been relentless. Fair play.
Karl boys will be glad he only lives a couple of doors down, I'm sure, because Jack Whelan has dispatched of him in 25 minutes. Gets him off the table. One bit of luck, only sort of one mistake from Karl, really. One big one.
Yeah.
And one from Jack, which he got away with. Yeah, he had a little bit of run, but he's going to take some beating if he takes that into his next encounter.